With the Christmas season in recent memory, I always find myself thinking about some of the games that I received for Christmases over the years. Some more recent games would be Mario 3D World and Splatoon, both for the Wii U one year. Another year was Super Mario Galaxy and Twilight Princess. All excellent games. But the one that has always really stuck with me is Lego Island 2 for the Game Boy Advance. This cartridge is actually my second copy of the game. The first one went through the wash too many times. Seriously, that was a real problem I had as a kid. I don't know who Carr is, but why did you sell this game? It's a good game. For some reason, this game has become a staple of every winter break for me. It's only about a 2-hour game, so it's a pretty quick and fun tradition each year. But I got this game when I was 4 years old. Now I'm 23. How does it hold up all these years later? It's also not working. Did I break my game? Oh shoot, what does that mean? As a note, if you've seen this game before and it looks different to you, you may be familiar with the PC or PlayStation version of this game. I have the PC version as well, and it's alright. The Game Boy version doesn't have voice acting. And that's a plus.
Thanks for the pizza, Pepper, and you have some groovy bricks for your house.
Morning, Jack. Got any new offers in today?
Hi, Pepper. Unfortunately, I'm waiting on a delivery. Maybe this afternoon, definitely tomorrow.
Oh, I have some bricks for you, Pepper. Don't worry, none of them explode or anything like that. Honest.
Building always starts with a foundation.
This was back in the days when games received console and handheld versions that were drastically different due to the hardware limitations. While the Game Boy version follows all the same story beats as the console version, it features a top-down style and... what can I say? It's a Game Boy Advance game. The game begins with an urgent news flash.
Oh no! The Brickster has escaped from Lego Island. Jail.
Also, jail seems to always be capitalized in this context. Maybe it's a neighboring country or something, I don't want to assume.
Nick Brick is at the scene. Do you read me? Yes, I can hear you. Infomaniac.
This is gonna be a long game, isn't it?
Hello, Pepper. Hello, Infomaniac.
This is gonna be a long game, isn't it? We learn from the Infomaniac that the Brickster, our recurring nemesis, and apparently only criminal on the entire island, has escaped from
jail,
and only we can stop him. To do that, we need to find the Constructopedia pages scattered around the island. The Constructopedia pages allow us to build more buildings, which allow us to find more Constructopedia pages, and so on. Fortunately, the one Constructopedia page that apparently wasn't stolen was the one for my house. My house gets built, and the Infomaniac explains to me how to use my house. So very generous of him. The developers clearly wanted to make sure I didn't get too far ahead of myself, so they really tried to ease me into this game. The first thing I'm asked to do is pull some weeds for the sorry sort Mr. Funberg.
I can still see some weeds, Pepper.
Okay, fine. And for all that work we put in of picking, somewhere around 5 weeds, he gifts us with a toll bridge coin. I'm not sure why we'll be needing this, but I'm sure we'll find out later. I continue to explore the island at this point, and despite being a Game Boy Advance game from the early 2000s, there's a surprisingly complete world. I did find this guy that I can't seem to get to no matter how hard I try. Hello? Are you okay back there? Do you need help? I can, however, change the tree behind him. That'll save him. Another neat aspect of this world is the ability to talk to every person on the island. While not all NPCs have unique dialogue, a lot of them just have a generic pool of messages that they pull from, it's still cool that this is a feature. Like this guy. Let's talk to this guy.
Dum-de-dum, I love to sing, doo-de-doo, la-la-la, when was the last time, doo-de-doo, ba-da-da.
Okay, we are never talking to that man ever again. What a nice world. We have nice grassy areas, nice beach areas. Oh yeah, also there's killer robots all over this island that we have to destroy with pizzas for some reason, and as far as I can tell, there's no reward or reason for them. It just gives the A button a purpose, I guess. Yeah, that guy got pooped on. I don't really have anything else to say about it, but that guy got pooped on. So we find ourselves wandering on the beach looking for a jackhammer. But really, this is supposed to be poop, right? Like, what else could this possibly be? It's not a hat. You don't put sunscreen on your hair. What is this supposed to be? Sorry, I'm just really hung up on that. I know I keep getting really sidetracked here, but I keep getting distracted with these different conversations and rabbit trails and different directions I can go. But the first task we're given is to take this jackhammer we found on the beach to the bridge up north, so they can finish their construction. How the jackhammer ended up on the beach, we're never told, so I'm really hoping the sequel addresses this important issue. Oh hey, there's that guy from earlier. Oh, well, that was intuitive. At least we'll get to see some hidden dialogue or something for finding a hidden path. I wonder what he has to say.
I just like to run in the forest and watch insects all day.
Moving on. Much of this game revolves around exploring, which is really great, except for the paths that are so narrow and sometimes you just can't get through it. Come on, Pepper, just get through the sidewalk. You can even knock on people's doors, and they answer. And only occasionally break the fourth wall. Also, sir, how does your hair fit in your house?
Hey Pepper, can you strip down a computer and put it back together wearing a blindfold?
Man, this game asks the tough questions.
Have you ever wondered about things? You know, really wondered?
Oh, well maybe it does. Okay, enough distractions. We finally return the jackhammer and unlock the northern part of the map. The island is broken into 3 sections, the last 2 getting unlocked at different points of the game. It's a really nice way to ease into exploring this world without overwhelming the player up front. During construction of the bridge, we also find a Constructopedia page which will rebuild the information center. The Infomaniac tells us to head that way, to which we reply with a blank stare and the look of
Help, my head is not supposed to be stuck like this.
So let's head back and rebuild the information center. The Infomaniac tells us he needs help inside, but he looks alright to me. Oh, never mind, he's stuck in the computer somehow. No time for questions, this throws us into our first minigame where we have to hit the Brickster bots while avoiding the Infomaniac. But, you know I have to do it. Another weird aspect I don't feel like I've really addressed is that the Brickster is just casually walking around on this island. Remember the Brickster? Escaped from
Jail
at the beginning of the game? But about every 5 minutes, he seems to wander up to me on the street and have a chat like we're old buddies or something. Apparently the Brickster is feeling so cocky, he decides to just give me a skateboard so I can get around the island and I guess catch him faster? I would call the man the height of arrogance if I didn't also kind of get it. Like, the cops are just hanging out down at the police station doing nothing, while the only criminal on the entire island is just wandering all over the main streets and exchanging pleasantries with all the townsfolk. Island folk. Lego Island folk. We eventually find the page for the hospital, which seems like a pretty critical piece of the island, so we head quickly to repair it. Just in the nick of time, it seems, as our friend Lucky pulls up in the back of an ambulance. Now, I question the necessity or even use of bandages on a Lego person, but hey, I'm not one to judge others' cultures or customs, so we'll let it slide. Our friend gives us a ferry ticket, which we'll need to access Castle Island, a small island containing a few minigames necessary for plot progression. Shortly after, we run into the Infomaniac, and this happens? So I'm all for getting off this island as soon as possible. As we board the ferry, we run into our old pal, greatest enemy, the Brickster, the loose Brickster that we're doing nothing about.
Hello, Pepper, you goody two-shoes. Goody what? Two-shoes. I don't know what it means either.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. I don't get it either. What was that? So we finally escape the long and unskippable conversations that seemingly all of our friends want to have with us and make it to Castle Island. And if you have played the PC or console version of Lego Island 2, you're probably noticing that a lot of the same music tracks have carried over to the Game Boy Advance version, albeit stripped back, of course, thanks to hardware limitations. While it may not have the range or diversity of its predecessor, there are still some great tunes in here. Castle Island has a few minigames we have to play to acquire various MacGuffins, like toll bridge coins, Constructopedia pages, and also there's no way to get off this island, so we have to play these games. The standout for me was this tent that might be a toilet.
I thought this tent was another game, but I think it's a toilet since there's someone inside who told me to go away.
Yeah, listen to those voices. You should listen to those. The next game we have to play is an underwater diving game where we have to collect 5 red bricks and bring them back to the surface to repair the bridge. And just like in the PC and console versions of this game, it's the worst part of the game. Every time you run into an obstacle, you immediately drop the brick and you can't pick it up until it reaches its final destination at the bottom of the ocean, and then you pick it up and bring it back to the top and you get hit again, and did I mention it's the worst part of the game? Fixing the bridge allows us to access the other half of Castle Island. Immediately, I talked to a lady who was enjoying watching the men fight and get all sweaty. So instead of reporting her to the police like a good citizen, I enter the jousting competition so I can also fight the sweaty men. This nice and totally not horrifying gentleman gets me all set up to joust and tells me,
"May the horse be with you."
Now I'm sure this must be a reference to something, but I don't really know pop culture. The controls on this minigame are confusing. I never quite figured them out. You have to rapidly tap buttons to build up speed and then use the D-pad to steady your lance, but it never quite works like it's supposed to, which leads to hilarious endings like this. Yeah, Pepper ate it. Well done. Oh, guess we have different standards of well done. Finally, after several tries and a good helping of total luck, I'm able to fling the knight from his steed. A wizard now appears on the island who tells us he can warp us back home.
If you were so fantastic, could you do something cool? Well, I made this coat.
Oh yeah, also he can teleport you anywhere you ask to go. Pro tip, if you have the magical ability of teleportation, maybe don't lead with the line, "Hey, I made this coat." With the toll coins we got from Castle Island, we're able to open up the third and final area of the main island. This area has Mama and Papa Briccolini's world-famous pizza shop, Nancy and Nubby's garage, the police stations with the ever-aloof Nick and Laura Brick, and Valerie Stubbins' Rescue HQ, all familiar locales from the other LEGO Island games. Papa Briccolini asks us to deliver a few pizzas for him, which really brings me back to the glory days of delivering pizza on the original LEGO Island. And we all know how that ended.
It's mine, all mine.
He rewards me with a Constructopedia page. Wait, what? Aren't these the pages the whole island needs to survive and rebuild the barren wasteland that the Brickster left? Don't these constitute a little more important than...
Oh yeah, I found this page, but you better do some work for me first. Oh, you did the work? Guess you can have a hospital again.
Another guy near the skate park is also holding a critical Constructopedia page, but he refuses to give it over until I get him a trophy from the skate park. Not even one he's earned, just a trophy I earned and he wants me to hand over to him. These people are the ones preventing me from bringing justice, while the one criminal on the island actively gave me a skateboard and gave me more helpful advice than anyone else on the island. Who's the real criminal here? Oh great, another encounter with the Brickster. Let's get ready for another riveting conversation.
Yes, I will. No, you won't. 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 Yes, I will. No, you won't.
I think this is the curse of every LEGO Island game, if not every video game ever, but I feel like I'm the only one in this entire game that's lifting a finger to do anything. My whole life flashed before my eyes. It was very boring. This must be the nude beach. So we spend more time wandering the island, and because I'm a professional and played this game 100 times, I know you have to place a ladder here to access this page. Also, I can somehow skateboard on a ladder, but I can't get on the sidewalk.
Don't hang around in the tunnel, Pepper.
I do what I want to do. Okay, I'm bored. We're finally able to access the skate park, so we can bring this man his ill-gotten trophy. And the Infomaniac says if we practice hard enough, we could be as good as Boney Hawks. Now I'm sure this must be a reference to something, but I don't really know pop culture. The best thing about this minigame is when you wipe out hard. You don't just fall off your skateboard. Well, in fact, you don't fall off your skateboard at all. Maybe I should just show you.
Okay.
With the skating trophy returned, we can finally build the police station, meaning we can take our driver's test and gain access to the island's vehicles. All we have to do is follow the directions and not go over the speed limit. Now, I'm all about safety, but these speed limits might be a touch extreme. Well, that's okay, he seemed impressed by it. Fortunately, now that we've passed the driver's test, we never have to follow any speed limit signs again, and we can recklessly drive wherever we want at the ridiculous speeds of 40 miles an hour. Let's check in on Mama and Papa Briccolini again. They were two of my favorite characters from the other games.
Sit down so I can take your order. But I don't want any pizza right now. Yes, you do. No, you do.
Mama is an aggressive saleswoman. Just like with other games in the series, you're able to customize a lot of the plants and trees you find around the island. This doesn't add too much to the game or seem to have much of a purpose, but, I mean, it makes you feel like a magician, I guess?
Tree. B. Smaller tree.
The next location we're able to visit is Adventure Island. No, not that one. This one. We're accompanied by Johnny Thunder, who you may know from the popular Orient Expedition line of LEGO sets, or from the LEGO Backlot game we played a while back, and it's nice to see him make another cameo here. While we don't have a physical island to visit here like we did with Castle Island, we do get a series of decent mini-games, like this dinosaur one. This is just a rip-off of that Google Chrome game. Oh good, we got Darren's house, I guess. Darren's house. Ending on a sweet drum minigame, we return to the island only to discover that the Brickster has gone to Ogle, a creatively named other planet in space that the Brickster has apparently created for himself. Not only that, but he's taken Papa, the page-hoarding pizza monger, and Mama, the aggressive pizza saleswoman. It looks like it's up to only us to chase after the Brickster and save the planet. Nah. I'm good. Okay, well, I'd be perfectly fine to leave Mama and Papa to whatever their fate on Ogle may be. It seems the game is forcing us to progress in that direction. I take a train to the space station, suit up, and blast off into the sky by building a shuttle with all the space shuttle pieces I've been strangely finding around the island this whole game. And can I just take a minute to talk about the character progression of Pepper in this game? When we started, Pepper was a homeless pizza delivery guy, and in the matter of 2 hours of gameplay, we are now solo piloting a spaceship to another planet. Talk about an island of endless opportunity. Our first mission is to make it through an asteroid field. We have lasers to break up the asteroids, but I decide to take a pacifist route. We're almost at the end of the game here, but we do have to progress through a few final mini-games to make it to the Brickster, including one where we have to land safely on a platform. Though I must say, it's a bit of a downgrade from the awesome skydiving minigame on the PC version. We also have a couple of stealth sections we have to get through to get to the Brickster's tower, but the Brickster bots are kinda dumb. After making some pizzas for the Brickster bots, and purposefully losing because I got bored, and working through some horrendous platforming, I finally find the Brickster and stop him by throwing pizzas at him. That seems to be how most problems get fixed in this world. And just as quickly as it began, the game ends with a short outro, and we learn that the Brickster has been imprisoned. I think the only question I have left is, why did we wait until the Brickster kidnapped 2 people and flew away to another planet to attempt to catch him? We were standing face to face with him probably a dozen times throughout the game, and we never made any effort to stop him. We could have thrown a pizza right in his face, and this whole adventure would have been over in a matter of minutes. Oh, that's probably why we didn't stop him right then. I picked on this game a lot during this video, but I feel like I should clarify, I do kinda like this game. There's something about it that keeps me coming back about once a year. It's a short game, and it only took me about 2 hours to get through, but in an age when you can play Breath of the Wild on a handheld device, it still holds up okay. Now I want to play Breath of the Wild. Put next to its PC and console brethren, I think the progression of the Game Boy Advance version flows much more smoothly, and many of the minigames that are on both versions I think feel slightly better on the GBA. Instead of a 6-hour slog that includes about 2 hours worth of staring at a pizza disc loading screen, you get a nice little adventure with some enjoyable dialogue and decent world exploration. And yes, the dialogue. Oh, the dialogue.
Wah! I've got sand between my toes. But we don't really have toes. I love green. My house is green, the trees are green, and the grass is green. If only the sky were green. Great. That will cheer my wife up. She hasn't spoken to her sister for over an hour. I told those girls their singing was really good, so they let me stay and listen now. Result! Is my dad bigger than your dad? I bet he is.
We gotta get off this island. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please be sure to tell me what your favorite LEGO game is. We've been doing a lot of LEGO games on this channel lately, and I really want to keep that up, so let me know what you want to see next on the channel. And maybe you'll see it. Maybe you won't. I do what I want. Oh, we came right back.